What do the statistics say about this topic? Why do women find men to be so scary in so many situations? Is it unfair? These conversations live as a never-ending through line in online gender wars debates, and maybe the most serious site of this ideological conflict is in the 4B movement.
So the misogyny and patriarchy has gotten so bad in South Korea that the young women are participating in this movement that they're calling the 4B movement.
Like the 4B movement? Is that not of the devil?
Like literally, women all over the world have decided that if the choice is to be married to a man who treats us like nothing, or the population dying off, we will let it die off.
I think the men are becoming afraid because they're realizing a woman's power. You're going to have to do the one thing you have been avoiding the whole time, and that is change and become a better man if you ever want to be with any one of these women. No one is settling for you anymore.
So let's talk about the 4B movement. The story of the 4B movement starts in South Korea, but the curiosity surrounding it today in the West feels very much its own animal. In some ways it started here, with a TikToker named Jeannie. As Jeannie describes it, this movement is a cultural phenomenon in South Korea that is at least exacerbating low birth rates in the country, all sourcing back to women being so done with men.
Really bad. But I just think that's so fucking funny. That's also very Korean. Like, Korean as an ethnicity is about to go away, and Korean women are literally just like...
These 4 principles, often called the 4Bs, stand for Bihon, no marriage with men; Bisexu, no sexual relationships with men; Bichulsan, no child rearing; and Biyonai, no dating with men. Started by Korean feminists on social media around 2017. Since this TikTok went viral, many American women are championing the cause and its potential widening into an international movement, often going back and forth with the men's rights red pill crowd as a sort of performed debate.
Feminism is going to lead these women into dating each other. This is not going to benefit you in any way. This just screams you hate men.
Sweetheart, it's not about misandry. It's not about us hating men. It's about us expecting men to evolve and be better, and you choosing not to.
Naturally, we have already seen responses to the responses. Perhaps most notably, some people are taking to critique this as a type of Western sensationalism that is not at all indicative of what's really going on in Korea. Namely, there's this Thai K-Tok by content creator Anna Lee, who says that trends of Korean women trying to get married are far more prevalent.
All the conversations that I have with my friends around my age is about, oh my God, we're looking to get married. We need to find good partners and we need to do this before it gets too late or we're just like aged out of their marriage market. There are services in Korea like marriage matchmaking services where people go and you pay a broker. People go to these marriage services and they're heavily used. There are literally so many in the country because everyone is using them. And so the 4B movement in Korea is a very, very small fraction of the whole Korean population in general. It's just the Western media likes to highlight that part and make it seem like it's the biggest issue in Korea, which it really, really is not.
In that TikTok, she also refers to 4B activists as extreme, radical misandrists who face off with extreme, radical misogynists.
Most people in Korea still like the other sex. We want to date, we want to find love, we want to get married. Those are like the big majority. And it's only the small group of extreme radical misandrists and extreme radical misogynists. They just seem like the loudest because the most attention goes to them.
Her comment section is an extremely fun mixed bag. Some are disgusted with her seeming lack of solidarity with people standing for women's rights in her country. Some think she is a much-needed voice against Western sensationalism. Some say, yeah, that's my experience too. And some say, actually, I'm also from Korea, and I think you're making this look a little smaller than it actually is. It's funny because we often say that politics is downstream from culture, but sometimes culture ends up being downstream from politics. When Roe v. Wade was overturned, women across the country said they were swearing off casual relationships. They decided to be more careful with the men they were sleeping with, and planned to get on birth control as an act of rebellion, not really realizing that this is kind of the solution to everyone's problems. Less casual relationships mean fewer unintended pregnancies, happier women, and a healthier America. Now, With Trump winning the election in America, and half of American women believing they are being stripped of their rights, they've decided to rebel yet again. At first, this might have seemed healthy, but then it took a turn for the worse, and we really need to address the 48% of white women who didn't vote for Trump. I don't think they're okay. Before we dive into the story, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the MGTOW voice channel if you haven't already, and of course, ring the notification bell to stay up to date on all our episodes. So first of all, I just want to set the scene for you guys. This is what these women were acting like the day after the election. Just watch.
I'm not speaking to men today. If a man speaks to me, I'm not speaking back.
So, obviously they are not doing well in the polls. But you know what? Like, I also voted for Trump. They're angry. I understand. They wanted Kamala to win. It sucks when your candidate doesn't win. We all went through that in 2020. They're being dramatic, emotional women, per usual. We'll just let it blow over and then get back to business. But then, they kept going. And next, because they were so angry at men, they started posting about how they wanted to, de-center the patriarchy from their lives. If men were going to vote to take away their rights to have abortions, which, again, is not happening, then they were once again swearing off men. Wow, what a revolutionary idea.
Decided that cigarettes don't count today, and I honestly might go get a tattoo. But I also have decided that for the next 4 years, I am going to abstain from schmex with men. As a woman, my bodily autonomy matters, and this is my way to exercise sovereignty over that. So I highly encourage any other women that are single, and care about progressing women's rights and still fighting for our bodily autonomy, to do the same. If you need somebody to cuddle or hold your hand or give you a kiss, I bet you one of your girlfriends would do it, okay? And you don't even have to really be gay, okay? It's okay to have a lot of platonic love for the next 4 years.
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is that lesbianism is about to absolutely skyrocket. They are the real ones that are profiting off of this. But anyway, here is another one.
All I have to say is good luck getting laid. Especially in Florida.
I said this in a previous episode, but women are going around screeching this online. Not every man is only considered with getting laid. So good luck to you. It's probably better that you're staying abstinent. That is a good thing for you mentally. Not all men care. This girl posted another video that was very similar. She said if men won't respect our bodies, they don't get access to our bodies. Okay? This is why this is actually a good thing. You're abstaining from sex because you do not want to risk getting pregnant with somebody that you're not ready to start family with. You don't want to sleep with a man who does not respect your body. Ladies, keep it up. This is fantastic. This is exactly what you should be doing. I know that you think that this is some sort of protest, but come on. You are literally helping everyone. Some guy tweeted and said, "Women on here are threatening to stop having casual and warning us that they'll start making sure their partners align with their values. How is the entire culture fixing itself from this one event? I can't explain it." Another person commented and said, "Every few years the feminists reinvent traditional values and act like they discovered electricity." I 100% agree, but the thing is, this never sticks. Another person commented and said, "Am I the only one who remembers 2016? This has happened before, and the women did not, in fact, fix themselves." Yeah, they tried this in 2016, and after the high of the attention wore off and everyone moved on, they went back to normal. They tried after Roe Wade was overturned, and guess what? That did not stick either. And they're doing this so they can get attention and feel that moral superiority they so desperately crave. Maybe they realize they can't just keep doing the same thing they've done twice before. So now they're actually adopting something we've discussed above, the Korean 4B movement. This is why I was so excited to do this episode. I love when things overlap, and we can call back to previous topics. Basically, TLDR. Feminism is rampant in South Korea. Their birth rate is plummeting. Nobody's getting married, nobody's having babies, and feminists have made this worse by creating the 4B movement. This movement promotes no sex with men, no dating, no marriage, and no children. Many of these women make this their full-time lifestyle, so they could add no money to the list. They literally mooch off their fathers, which just makes it even more comical. Anyway, now women in America have adopted this movement. Here are a few headlines. No dating, no marriage, no children. Interest grows in the 4B movement to swear off men. Boycott men. South Korea's 4B movement gains traction in the US. After Trump's win, and Trump's election has women swearing off men. But here's the thing. American women couldn't just stop there. They needed to feel special, to do something unique and just a bit different. So they decided to start shaving their heads to put their own spin on this movement. Just watch.
Woke up this morning feeling spicy. You guys feel spicy? Because I do. All right. I don't know how to use this thing.
My favorite thing is that she keeps trying and it never
cutting
works.
Off hair. Being skinny, being hot, being all the things that the patriarchy wants us to be. And I'm talking to you too. Those of you ladies who have the internalized misogyny required to do what you did.
Thank you.
The minorities who are so scared of a woman in power that you'd rather cozy up to the white man just in case some crumbs fall off his.
So that's the only reason I voted for Trump then? Because I have internalized misogyny. I'm supposedly so afraid of a woman of color being in office. And I just want some crumbs from Donald Trump? Give me a break. You're not even trying to understand why 52% of women, just like you, voted for Donald Trump. You don't even want to think about it. You just want to shave your head, move on, and say, F this, which she continues to do throughout the entire video until the end.
Stop having sex with men. Stop talking to men. Divorce your husbands. Leave your boyfriends. Leave them. They don't give a shit about you. And I promise you, come over to this side. I will bake cookies. I will shave your head if you want me to.
How did we go from Britney Spears shaving her head, where everyone thought, oh my gosh, she's really having a mental breakdown, to now seeing it as some kind of female empowerment rallying cry? Did we forget what happened 20 years ago and how we all reacted? How has this changed so quickly? I know there's a real psychological term for this, but this entire thing just screams, I'm unhappy, I'm insecure, and I want other people to feel as unhappy and insecure as I do. She's literally urging women to leave their husbands, leave their boyfriends, and be single and happy like her. I mean, she'll bake you cookies, she'll cuddle you. You just need to leave men, shave your heads, and stop being hot and skinny, because obviously, all of that is terrible. I'm sorry, but this is not a woman who wants the best for other women. Yet hundreds, maybe thousands of other women jumped in. Just watch. Come with me to shave my head and deconstruct internalized patriarchy. Great. You're so brave, stunning and brave. I mean, girl bossing to the max. Here's another. When this is the only thing we have left to control ourselves. You're so dramatic. And then what is this person in the back hiding your face? You're cosplaying as oppressed. You're hiding somebody's face. You're sitting there. You're so somber. There are literally women across the world who are getting married off at 9 years old. Those are not women. Girls that are getting married off to middle-aged men at 9 years old. Women who are literally publicly executed because they show their hair in public. Women who cannot get medical attention. Women who cannot go to school. And you're sitting here on your little TikTok app shaving your head because you want to seem like you're oppressed. Because that gives your life value. That's what all of this is. Why are all of these seemingly middle-aged women acting like this? This seriously screams, I need to feel important and relevant again. And I need to make other women, especially young women, feel as miserable as I do. So all of this head shaving, all of this drama, it is a desperate cope.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing.
It's a way to feel like they have some control over their lives, to stay relevant, and to bring other women down. Since they're probably angry that so many of us very happily voted for Donald Trump. I mean, they are desperate to hold on to this idea that they're so oppressed and have to fight back. But you're literally, as the Valley Girl on X put it well, you live in the land of the free with privileges that you take for granted. You are not oppressed. Do you know what real oppression is? Women in Afghanistan have no voice. They are forbidden from going to school, visiting places of worship, going to gyms, salons, or even national parks. They can't work, leave their homes without a man present, or even choose their own clothing. Their basic rights and safety are literally under threat every single day of their lives. They don't have the freedom to leave an abusive situation. Meanwhile, some liberals in America are shaving their heads to make a point. Did you think about donating that hair to Locks of Love? Do you realize you're trivializing the experiences of women with cancer or alopecia? You rail against the system, yet it's because of capitalism and your right to free speech that you can vent on social media and even profit from it. Real feminists do not stand for this. Women who truly care about rights don't stand for this. The 4B movement is a mockery of the real horrors that women worldwide are facing. It is embarrassing, and it's tone-deaf. And I completely agree with that. This impacted none of us other women in the slightest, other than seeing your video and thinking, ooh, okay, that's a bit much, maybe laughing at it. It didn't impact us. Men do not care. We don't care. But you know who does care? Well, like this poster just said, the women around the world who have lost their hair, whether due to cancer, alopecia, or maybe because it's fallen out from the stress in their lives. They are the ones you've impacted. You're so focused on being martyrs and making yourself unattractive to men that you haven't stopped to think about what that means for women who can't have the hair you're buzzing off. Are you saying they're unattractive or that men don't like them because they're bald? I mean, you be the judge, but I'll let these women speak for themselves.
I am not part of this f***ing trend. Stop. Stop. There are people that have lost their hair, like me, and it has been devastating. You guys claim to be so caring and kind, but look what you're doing. You guys are not realizing that you are triggering people that have lost their hair, that have cancer. Shaving your head because you think you've lost your rights, you didn't lose your f***ing rights.
As usual, the party of political correctness, inclusivity, and moral superiority finds a way to alienate a little and trash a group of people who actually deserve love and inclusion, all so they can feel important. And that's really all this is. You want attention, and you want to feel important. So here you go. Here's 15 minutes of attention for you. I hope you realize you're acting like a ridiculous entitled prick. And that concludes today's discussion on MGTOW voice. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on future videos. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video.